Hello YouTube. I'm making this second part of the video entitled Cern Collider. Edom created the collider to change history for the birthright part 2. And I just wanted to go in a little bit further than I did the first video and kind of tell you why this thing was made, how it works a little bit, what it does, and to tie scripture into this lesson. Because you got to understand, this is basically science knowledge working with the scriptures. Science and the spiritual realm and the word of the Most High Yahweh both tie together. Yahweh is a dual being, meaning there is light and dark with Yahweh. And basically, you can't have one without the other. That the scripture says that an unbalanced scale is an abomination to the Most High. So everything has to have balance. There has to be positive and negative, hot, cold, light, dark, grass, dirt, death, life. Everything is duality with the Most High. And Isaiah 45:7 says, I form light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things. The Most High said himself he created that. The reason why? Because it's an even balance. It's not too heavy, not too light. It's a balance. It's chess, not checkers. And see, this is what the Illuminati and the powers that be, who make all these demonic instruments, they're playing out the darkness role. And the Most High is carrying out the light role. But the Most High controls them both. And light and darkness is also used to reward righteousness and to also punish righteousness. Just like a child. If you reward a child for doing good, you give him something positive. But if he gets out of order, what you punish him. There must be a balanced scale, because an unbalanced scale is an abomination. And also, going into a little bit about this Cern Collider, this thing was basically made to for time travel purposes, to try to alter time, change the times, and that's also scriptural. In Daniel chapter 2:21, and he changeth the times and seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So when you see him doing that, that means, like, for instance, when he went up to the northern Africa and the Middle East, he brought down regimes and governments and set up people that he appointed to do his biddings. And I'm talking about the elite, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the ones that are basically playing chess with the world. That's what he does. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know and understand. And an example of that is like the secret societies, the Bohemian Grove. Only a select amount of people that are high business owners who make billions of dollars, and people who are in high in government and stuff like that, they're the only ones that are allowed at these places. Because why? He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So those who understand the game that's being played, those are the ones who get to play with this man, who get to lie with Esau and play his game. They get the riches by selling their soul to their father Satan. And that's the dark understanding. That's why when they go to the Bohemian Grove, they worship that owl. And what does an owl do? An owl is able to see in darkness. So they're able to see in the darkness what most people aren't able to comprehend or understand, because they're not players in the game. They're just the sheeple that walk around. They work their 9 to 5. They're worried about their wife. They're worried about the girlfriend. They're worried about the job, the career, the family picnic, the family vacation. Those guys don't understand what's going on. And so once again, he changes the times and seasons. And also going into changing the times, this collider machine, what it does, it merges parallel dimensions, causing reality changes. And basically, what you're seeing is that people are calling this thing the Mandela effect. And basically the Mandela effect is something that when this thing is operated, this Cern collider, what it's doing is it's merging the second, third, fourth dimensions closer and closer together. So what happens when you do that, you bring the spiritual realm, which is called antimatter, dark mass or dark matter, you're bringing that closer into a physical reality, into the seeing in realm, the touch realm, the four senses realm. That's what you're bringing those dark entities into. Like, for instance, Satan is in a spiritual form here in the first dimension. You don't see him with the physical body. So what he does is he possesses. He'll demon possess somebody, and then that way, if he's able to possess them or influence them, they'll do his work on the earth. Case in point, the Edomites, they're doing his work out in the earth and carrying out his satanic agenda in order to bring the end times like the Most High set it up to be. But what they want to do, they want to physically bring in Satan where you can see him, smell him, taste him, or wherever, touch him in the four senses. They want to actually bring those demonic beings to be worshipped, because Satan wants to be worshipped. He wants to mimic what the Most High and Yahweh do. So this is another reason why this thing was created. And also, this thing causes a quantum effect. Now, basically, a quantum effect or quantum physics, quantum effects basically means to be omnipresent, to be everywhere at the same time. And they want to exalt themselves like the Most High and be like the Most High. Everything that these Edomites doing under Satan's regime is a mimic and copying of what the Most High does. They want duality like him. They want to control light and dark. So that's why, for instance, they'll do like a false flag. For instance, nobody's really hurt, nobody's really killed, but they'll stage this thing because that's given darkness. And then they'll turn around and tell you, well, they caught the assailants, they're in jail right now, they're going to be taken down, we're the heroes, we solved the problem. But when in reality, there never was any problem. See, that's a balanced scale. They're trying to act out what the Most High does. And they're trying to do all this with these satanic machines that they get the knowledge and their wisdom from the dark side. Now, it's all controlled by the Most High, don't get it twisted. But it's still carried out by Satan, which is the Most High's spiritual son on the left side. So I'm going to read a scripture that shows you what these Edomites, the so-called white man, what he is doing, being empowered by Satan. So it says in Isaiah chapter 14, starting at verse 12, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?" And the word Lucifer basically means light bearer. He's the one that has been given the earth. Well, to be honest and technical, Lucifer is really Yahweh. They're the real light bearers. But as of now, because Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, the Edomites and Satan is a light bearer. They're the ones that have the biblical truth and are dispersing it out to the earth and to the 12 tribes of Israel on a false pretense. They're telling everybody that everybody has salvation. The blacks here in the United States are the Gentiles, which that's not true. They're really the Israelites, going all the way down to the Latino and Native American people. But they're telling everybody that salvation for everybody. They have the light. They're deceiving people through their religious system called Christianity, which has all different types of branches and factions. And that is the light that has been given to Satan, and Esau is carrying out the Edomites. Verse 13, "For thou hast said unto thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north." Now, what that's talking about is his his satellites, his space travel, going back to the Cern collider or the hydrogen collider. Those are all mechanisms of him exalting himself to be like the Most High. He wants duality. He wants to control light and darkness. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. See? So you see what he's doing? Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. Now I want to go back, and it says, I will set also upon the mountain of the congregation the side of the north. And that north basically represents North America. This is where he basically started his big Christianity movement with the perversion of the Torah and the Tanakh that was made for the Israelites. He went over into our land and got our scrolls, because when we were put out by the Roman Empire in 70 AD, we left pretty much everything the way it was. We just ran out and hid amongst the Africans in West and Northern Africa, and some in Central Africa and some in Southern Africa. We all hid out, and so we left all of our scrolls and everything intact. And that's when they went over there and got it, and then brought it back here, and then set Christianity up. There's more history in between that, but I'm just giving you a fast version of it. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did make and shake kingdoms? And that's what the Edomites did. He lives by the sword and dies by the sword. This was the blessing that he got from the Most High Yahweh through Isaac, his father, to basically conquer by the sword. And all nations are trembling when these Caucasian led nations go to war with everybody, because they have the nuclear capabilities, they have the best machine guns, they have the best tanks, they have the best aircraft, they have the best of everything when it comes to mechanisms of war. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. Now, when you go look at cities like Iraq and the Middle East, because that's where the concentration is right now, to take over and try to get centralized banks in there and puppet regimes and puppet leaders of those countries over there, is basically, you see the destruction that has come through the wars. When you go over to the Middle East, you see whole villages and whole towns brought down to rubble. And you can go all the way back to World War I and II. Cities over there in Europe were reduced to rubble. Verse 18, all the kings and the nations, even of them, lie in glory, every one in his home. But thou art cast out thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as carcass trodden under feet. And I'm going to stop right there as far as with those scriptures. But this is the end result of this man ruling the earth, and these mechanisms and these, colliders and all these quantum. He even has a quantum computer that basically he's just not too long ago just completed in the making. And this quantum computer is supposed to try to bring artificial life. They want basically to build computers that basically act and function just like a human, have emotions and everything. But what they're doing is they're trying to use this quantum computer to merge the different dimensions, the parallel dimensions, with our tangible first dimension. So they're basically, in easy terms, are trying to merge spiritual realm with the living realm. And they're trying to do it with computers. That's also another thing that goes behind the RFID chip. And so that RFID chip is the same type of chip that they're using, I believe. And that chip might be more advanced in this quantum computer. But when you look at the quantum computer, its chip that's in it, it almost looks like the RFID chip in a sense, but the RFID chip is smaller. They want to control you like a robot, and if you go against their command and their will, I've heard that they've got cyanide that can be released out of these chips. So basically, what they're trying to make is robotic people to do their bidding and the will 24 hours, 7 days a week. No fights, no refusal to do what they say. So let's see. That's pretty much sums up what I was going to share. Basically, what this machine is made for. You know, why it's been given to him, and what the Most High is basically going to do about it. It's for a purpose. It's not just, for just something for the Most High to do. It's just balancing. Esau balances the scale with light and darkness. He's carrying out the Most High's work on the dark side, and the Israelites are carrying out the Most High's work on the light side. And that makes a balanced scale. So I'm going to close out with that. I hope I didn't confuse you. This stuff is really deep to get into. I could go on probably for an hour, but I'm not, just for time's sake. I don't want people to get disinterested or get confused. But I'm going to close out with that. I hope it was edifying. If you like the videos, please subscribe. You help me, by subscribing, by getting materials, better software, and whatnot. And so with that being said, I'm going to close out. Shalom, brothers and sisters.